It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And in the House of the Legends today, we have Inaya Day. How you doing, Inaya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm quite well. Welcome to my show, The Legends. So we're
Oh,
going to
thanks
talk
for having me.
about your beginning, and it's very nice to know that you really started singing at a very early age, and you're actually from Brooklyn.
Yes.
And so let's talk about the beginning, how you actually got started with the craft as a young child, you know.
Yeah. Well, of course, church.
Okay.
uh, my whole family is born and bred in church. And the first place I went after having come home from the hospital was to church, to choir rehearsal with my mother. So the first thing that was in my ears, besides the voices of my family, was music.
Okay.
And basically, that's still how I'm living today.
Okay. So let's talk about Broadway. I mean, you started doing things as far as acting or singing on Broadway.
Yeah, I've done theater in New York, theater in, regional theater, what we call regional theater, which is in
Okay.
different other parts of America. Um, of course, theater overseas. I went to Germany and did Little Shop of Horrors. And then actually, the show that took me there was called Broadway Dusseldorf. And that's where I met the director who was friends with Boris Dlugosch.
Okay.
And he put us together. And that's how Keep Pushing came.
Okay. So at an early age, when you started singing growing up, let's say like in your teens, um, what artists actually influenced you? I mean, there's a lot of them, but everybody has one that actually gave them some type of inspiration.
The artists that influenced me are, I'll say number one, Sky. The band Sky that made
Okay.
Call Me and all that stuff. Well,
Right.
my cousin is the band leader, Solomon Roberts Jr.
Oh,
He's the band
Solomon.
leader
Okay, I know
and producer.
Solomon.
Oh,
Yes, I
you know
do.
Sol?
Well, I had
Yeah, he's
Sky
my
on
big
my
cousin.
show. I had Sky on my show. I had the ladies of Sky on my show.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, well, he and I have a record coming soon. He did one for me, but this one he's doing with me.
Okay.
It's called I Got a Whole Lot of Love, but we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was a little kid, I would sit on my aunt's steps as they
Mm-hmm.
rehearsed in the basement. Sky would rehearse BT Express and Brass Construction. So
Okay.
I was getting that in me from baby to till grown up.
Okay.
So that's where I get my funk from. That, and my sister listened to a lot of Shaka Khan, Rufus and Shaka Khan at the time.
Right.
And she would play them on her record player a lot. So
Oh.
Shaka is one of my greatest influences, where I get the way I wail my highs, I get from her.
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn Brown influenced me in that my squall, the way she squalls, but then can go right into a sweet voice. I got
Right.
that from her.
Okay.
And of course, my gospel Clark sisters and
Oh,
Richard
the Clark
Smallwood
sisters.
singers,
Okay.
that's in me from the beginning.
So, living in Germany, you did some production. Let's talk about that.
Yes. In Germany, when I met Boris Lugosch, I was just getting over a cold or the flu or something like that.
Okay.
And Yilmaz, who is our mutual friend, kept saying, "You have to meet my friend Boris," telling Boris, "You have to meet my friend Inaya." So I ride the train for 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
meet up with Moose T and Errol and Boris. They have a skeleton track, which is now Keep Pushing. And they
Right.
said, Errol says, say something positive like, if you keep going, you'll eventually meet your goal. Don't give up. Just keep,
Right.
moving forward. I was like, no problem. So I went in the booth and I started singing things from the top of my head. And
Mm-hmm.
just singing until I got to keep pushing on. And they
Oh.
were like, yes, keep going, keep going. So I kept going with that. That's why I repeat it so many times when I'm trying to think of something else to say.
Right.
So, we have this saying, when in doubt, gospel out. So that's why I go to, though the mountains seem too high and the valley low. That's from my gospel origin. And I sang a bunch of stuff, and Boris and Musti chopped and mixed it, produced it. And the next thing I know, it's on the radio and it hit. So we had to do a follow-up. The follow-up is Hold Your Head Up High. And the bass line is very similar to Keep Pushing. And we did that on purpose so people would relate one with the other and realize it's the same artist. So we did that, and that hit. So, then Musti had this track called Horny, the Horny song or something like that, because of the horns.
And I was going to ask you about that because, I mean, that could be put in any type of category, but I didn't
Yes,
think it would be anything that would be explicit. But because actually the song went gold and platinum, you know what I'm
it
saying?
did.
So
As you
it
can
had
see
to,
behind me, there's one of the gold
right, you
records.
know?
Yeah.
And so,
Yes.
how did that actually, how did that come about, as far as Horny?
Yeah, he had an instrumental called The Horny Song or
Right.
something like that. And it was doing really well. And he asked me if I would sing some vocals on top of it. So we finished one session for another artist.
Right.
And he said, sing, I'm horny, 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 horny tonight. And I was like, bet. I go in, we're giggling through the whole thing. I'm horny, 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 horny. And we did it because of all the the horns in the song. So that's why it was called the Horny Song. And we did that. And I had gone back on tour wherever I was. And Errol wrote some verses. And it kind of takes the double entendre feeling away. But, he wrote some verses to it. And then the next thing you know, that blew up. So, and if you notice, the first 3 songs I've done, which are Keep Pushing, Hold Your Head Up High, and Horny in house music, the first 3 songs I've done in house are all under project names. It's Boris Lugosh Presents Boom for the first and second, and then it's Musti versus Hot and Juicy, which is my vocals and Emma Langford's vocals. And I never used my name at the time because I was doing hip hop and R&B, and at the time it wasn't a good idea to cross that line, to blur that line. It wasn't trendy then. So, and I had an artist development deal with Sony, so I had to be mindful of how I stepped. But when that third one hit, it's like, okay, well, this is what I'm supposed to do. I mean, how much of a hint and a knock over the head does one need? So I told my agents, my musical theater agents, I said, you can stop sending me on auditions because I don't have time anymore. And they actually laughed at me because no one has ever asked not to be sent out. They're like, this is a first. So I asked them not to because I no longer had time. And I've been on the road ever since. And that was 26 years ago.
Okay. So, it amazes me because you go through different genres, and a lot of artists can't really stick to that point of actually killing it like that. You know what I mean? So you have a gospel side of you as well. And we're going to talk about that. And, let's talk about your gospel side, because it's very amazing what you actually were with some top names. So tell the viewers about that.
Yeah. Well, when I was a teenager, I was in a group. Well, let's go back. When I was still in high school, I was in a show, actually, a musical called God's Creation.
Okay.
And that was a gospel musical. And we traveled everywhere doing that doing that play. And then I joined a group called C.D. Hawkins, and we won the Sony Innovator Award. And I met Nancy Wilson. It was amazing doing that. I was only like 19, I think, when I joined that group, and we made one album. Then from there, I sang on an album, the New Jersey Youth Choir, I think. I led a song on their album. Fast forward to just a few years ago, maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
I was at Carnegie Hall with Richard Smallwood, Yolanda Adams, Did a duet with Shirley Caesar, and on and on. Donnie
Okay.
McClurkin. We were all on the same program.
Okay. Well, listen, we're going to take a slight break, and
Yeah.
we're going to listen to Inaya Day, something that she actually did, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Don't turn around. You ain't really down. Playing the games you do. Someday, everything will be alright. Yeah, that different people make the world go round.
Because of you, my dreams are coming true.
That sun that erases my rainy day.
Right now, I don't care who's watching.
For whatever the reason there might be.
With your love by my side, the world will be mine. You're the one for me.
Yeah.
Keep pushing on, things are gonna get better. It won't take long. Keep on pushing to the top. Keep on pushing to the top. Keep pushing on, things are gonna get better. It won't take long. Keep on pushing to the top. Keep on moving. Gotta keep on pushing to the top. Keep on pushing. Keep pushing on, things are gonna get better. It won't take long. Keep on moving to the top. Keep on moving. Gotta keep on moving to the top. Keep on pushing. Keep pushing on, things are gonna get better. It won't take long. Keep on moving to the top. Keep on moving. Gotta keep on moving to the top. Keep on pushing.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
Hey, we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends, and we are here with Inaya Day. Inaya, you really amazed me because not just being an actor and performer, you also did some background for some really big names as well. You want to share that with the viewers?
Yeah. Oh man, so many. But in particular, I did some stuff with Ashford and Simpson, with Puffy, well, P. Diddy now, and of course Michael Jackson, Randy Crawford. So many, too many to name, but yeah, I've been blessed and sang a lot of hooks for a lot of rappers.
Right. I mean, how does it feel to actually be around that type of energy? Because everybody doesn't get a chance to be around those type of celebrial types to actually do the things that you've done. And I think that's considerably a blessing, that you actually,
Yeah.
just keep just rising to the top.
Yeah, it's totally a blessing. I mean, especially being a solo artist, if you're going to do backgrounds for somebody, you want them to be credible and legendary. So I've been lucky and blessed to be able to work with such a high caliber of people,
Right.
and for them, the ones that are still with us, to still reach out to me and
Hmm.
still respect my opinion on music.
Right.
Um, Valerie Simpson, of all people, loves my writing, and so does Bootsy Collins. I wrote 2 songs on his Fresh Out of P University album and sang on 6 of them,
Hmm.
and uh, when he is submitting songs for TV commercials and things like that, he still reaches out and says, "I need something that's in the. It sounds like it's from the '60s. Sounds familiar, but it's not."
Hmm.
And then he sends me the boundaries, and I'm like, "I got you." Send it back, and we collaborate. So it's a blessing that they still deem me worthy.
So you were signed to several labels in the past. Do you want to share that with your fan base?
Actually, I've only been signed to one. Let me see, one house label.
Okay.
Um, technically, one house label, which is strictly rhythm.
Right.
I had a full-on contract with them and with Sony, and that was when I was doing hip hop and R&B. I had a maybe 3 single agreement or something like that with Nervous Records,
Right.
and all of the other ones, which are many, were just one-offs. None of them were had my signature to their label, but just to release those songs.
Okay. I want to give a big up to Sting International, aka Sean. You have a single out with him right now, and would you tell the viewers the name of it?
Yes, our current single is called Feelin' Feelin', and we have been waiting to release that for a very long time.
How's it to work with Sean? Because I know that he's very serious about his craft, and so can you actually explain the chemistry?
Well, Sting and I have been, I don't even like to say friends, we're family. We've known each other since we were kids, since we were like
Okay.
14 years old, 13, 14 years old.
Hmm.
And actually, we have a lot of songs together.
Okay.
Some that he can't find, many
Wow.
that I don't remember, whose titles I don't remember.
Hmm.
And but we have some bubbling under that we're gonna suss out and decide which is next or make something new. But it's easy to work with him because we're part of each other. We know each other well.
Right.
The chemistry is just, there's nothing even to speak of because it's just I guess we kind of take it for granted because we do it so easily.
And I have to say that I really, really give a big up to him being a 2 Grammy Award winner,
Yes.
and that means he knows his craft very well. To actually inspire people to actually vote for him on that particular platform.
Yes, indeed.
It's just a lot of people out here, Anaya, and that's actually upcoming, into the craft of actually acting, producing, singing, and things of that nature. Do you have any advice for them, through your experiences?
Yes. My advice is to, as long as somebody's liking your stuff, that means there are many others who will like it. So be tenacious, stay with it, push hard. Before that, though, learn your craft, hone in on it, know what you're doing. You know what I mean? Because if you don't know what you're doing, then we're not going to know what you're doing. You have to believe what you're doing in order to make us believe you. Be honest. Your honesty is what we feel. We know a faker from a mile away.
Right.
So if you are the most hokey artist can get by and we'll like them because they are dead serious and you're like, wow, yeah, well, he got my vote. You
I
know what
hear
I mean?
that. Yeah.
So you have to believe it. You have to make us believe it. You have to know what you're doing and stay with it because every wall will fall. If you keep chipping at it, even with a spoon, it'll eventually make a hole. So
I
stay
hear
with
you.
it.
Has the pandemic dampened you a little bit, due to the course of it being out there right now? Has it slowed you down a little bit?
Definitely. We artists tour often, and I'm in Australia a lot, in Europe a lot. But right now, international travel is not an option for me.
Right.
Especially with Australia, they're not opening their borders to have someone come over there touring.
Hmm.
When they are in their fifth shutdown or fourth, they are not playing. They're very
Oh
vigilant,
yeah,
and they're not
believe me,
trying
I
to have
know.
stuff lingering over there, because they're down there by themselves and they're self-contained, virtually self-contained. So they need to make sure everything is on the up and up. So I can't go over there. But things in America are starting to open up. And I just
Right.
did the Market Days Festival over there in Chicago. And
Mhm.
I'm about to do $3 Bill in Brooklyn, which is a very beautiful outdoor venue. And then I'm doing a club in Atlanta as well
Okay.
coming up. So the American travel is
Hmm.
starting to kick in again. But with my band, I'm often traveling with Montana. Within America, we're moving. But as far as my international travel, it's definitely hampered.
We all have our favorite artists, and upcoming or underground or upscale. So if you had to work with anyone right now as far as your dream artist, who would that be?
Well, it's not a house music person. I would love to work with
No, it
Stevie
doesn't matter
Wonder,
what genre.
old
Doesn't matter what
school.
genre. It doesn't matter.
Stevie Wonder has written any type of song and every type of song, and all of them have hit. I mean, that song he wrote, I Ain't Gonna Stand for It, it
Hmm.
starts off very country. What is it? Oh, I can't believe what they're telling me.
Right.
Like, this, you can't beat him, and his stuff, his music is timeless, and it doesn't need to be touched. It doesn't need to be remixed or anything. That's the kind of artist you want to work with.
He really encourages me a lot. I've been listening to Stevie since his younger days, and when he actually grew up to be the person and the artist that he is right now, man, he is he is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, amazing. And I seen a part where they said they was actually going to take him off of Motown at one time because he was actually before his time. Really, the
Yeah.
guy is phenomenal.
Yes,
You
he
know.
is.
So Anaya, any shout outs to anyone?
I have to give a shout out to Sting because the record is doing really well. And a shout out to everyone who has downloaded, streamed, danced to, or blasted my music. I really appreciate it. To have a longevity of 26 years in dance music is not something that I thought was possible when I started.
Right.
And I'm still here today, and it's the only thing I do. Music is the only thing I've ever done. So I'm really thankful and blessed. So I'd like to mostly thank everybody who supports my music.
And thank you for being on my show, The Legends. Come again,
I'd
and
love to.
tell Sting, give this to Sting so he can look at it, because I like Sting. He's very cool. You know what I mean? And he
Yes,
has that type of facade about him, which I really like. But this has been another T-Lo Video Productions with my guest, Inaya Day. And stay tuned for another episode. Y'all have a nice day.
For the love of house.
The dynamic soul sounds of
For the love
DJ
of dance.
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
Take my love, take all my love. Come show me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Use me love, rule me love. Come to me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. You got me feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. You got me feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Take my love, take all my love. Come show me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Use me love, rule me love. Come to me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. I'm feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. I'm feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. You got me feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. You got me feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Trust me, love, I'm right here, love. Come close to love, tell you about the way I'm feeling. Don't run, love, move me, love, rule me, love, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling, I'm feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Take all of me, from head to feet. I don't have to speak. Can be my love, complete me love. Teach me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Bless me love, arrest me love. Come test me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Make me love, unbreak me love. Shake me love, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. You got me feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Feeling, I'm feeling. I'm feeling, something about the way I'm feeling. Something about the way I'm feeling. Something about the way I'm feeling. Something about the way.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.